All right, guys, here's the prop. We're gonna pop this up. We're gonna install it right now so you can see it. Easiest way to do this stuff is just get yourself a 2x4 or any kind of piece of wood. You use a little floating prop wrench. Pop this guy off. Now, anytime you remove this thing, you might as well look in here and see how that pin looks, right? That pin looks bad. You can either replace it. Look, there's a bunch of grass on here. Didn't even know. But obviously we use that corrosion protection stuff, so there is no corrosion here, and we only use these in salt water, so we don't have any issues. But while you're in here, you might as well just coat it back up. Doesn't gotta be pretty, doesn't matter. No one's ever gonna see it again. Here's that prop. Here's the size comparison. You know, everybody was really saying how big it is. It's big, it's bulkier, has more surface area on the blades, but it is the same height, and that's all that really matters for closing and everything. Index is lined up with this. You can spin that. Come on down. It's never been put on here before. I probably should have drilled it out, but I didn't. Now it's too late. All right, we're gonna drill that out. We'll be back. That's better. Right in place. Look at that. Oh yeah. That looks crazy on there. I think should need to be adjusted a little bit on the file, but that's part of the design process. Not a big deal. She fits. Everything works well. If she's not all the way seated, this will make sure she's all the way seated. No big deal. Oh yeah. Now we're good to go. Seems a lot heavier when you go to pedal it with your hands, which is interesting. But we'll find out. We're gonna go get it on the water. All right, we've arrived at the boat ramp. The kayaks are unloaded. Walking back now. So really we're just minutes away from knowing whether or not that prop works. All right, there she is. Boom, getting in. Clean water, so ideally we will be able to get some underwater video. This is a moment of truth. You guys are gonna see it in live, super unstable action. No glorification. It either works or it doesn't. Water's pretty warm today. Somehow it's like 75 degrees in the middle of January. Not gonna complain about it. All right, there she is. Here goes nothing. Down. She's secure. Oh man, she is hard to pedal. Okay, as expected. Oh, you can hear that. You guys hear that noise? It is moving a lot of water. Now, we're going pretty good. I don't have to pedal very fast. And we are covering some ground. However, the pitch on that prop is picking up way too much surface area. Interesting to see. Pretty cool. But definitely needs some adjusting. You guys have to be able to hear that noise. You hear it? And now, no more. Very interesting. Now that was one of my biggest concerns. So let's turn this camera around real quick. Oops. Oh. You know, one of my biggest concerns was too much pressure on the pedal system. And that's why I talked about how I wouldn't use it on our fleet. You know, we have 7 of these. We get 7 new ones every year. Throughout charter season, I don't want to put that much wear and tear on the drive. So I personally don't plan to permanently vary from this prop system that is original. The stock one was designed. It is definitely efficient. And that's what I need in my life. But it is interesting to see an alternative. Now, seeing that, Adam's going to be able to go, okay, well, let's reduce how much it's cupped. It worked a lot better than the three-bladed design. Let's change it. Let's make it so it is cupped less. It'll get less surface area on the water, and maybe that will reduce how much tension is there, because realistically, there's way too much pressure on the pedal system. So I'm just going to coast back into the ramp, put the stock one on, and we're going to go see if we can find a fish or two. Okay, guys, we're back home. This morning we tested out the prop. It didn't break actually on the water. I actually broke it afterwards by just checking how flexible it was. It's completely my fault. I really wanted to see how durable this stuff was. So the look of it right now is pretty deceiving. Very, very strong, very heavy. You know, the first part of that video, you guys could see it was harder to move with my hands. So I've had all day to think about why it was stiffer and all these things. And it's definitely heavier. This material is heavier. I printed it at 100% infill because I wanted this part to be 100% filled in, and I wanted to have the best connection purposes here for the printing part. You can see in the video, it may not look like I was pedaling hard, but I was putting out some pretty good effort. Once I switched back over to the original prop, it felt like I was riding a bicycle in first gear. I wasn't going places, but it felt like I was going nowhere. This thing moved a ton of water, which was really, really interesting. So I'm gonna talk to Adam. I'm gonna give him some details. After I quit filming that part on the water, I did a little more testing just to have some experience. It worked in reverse. You know, it did okay in reverse. I think it has too much water. I think you could make it smaller, but that stuff's up to Adam. You know, get some feedback to Adam and go from there. But it had a ton of torque, and I was moving really good at a very slow cadence, whereas I have to pedal twice as fast to get that same speed with the regular prop, which is interesting. Now, I said it a bunch of times and I really mean it. This is a cool project. It's amazing that we live in a world with technology where we can design things on the computer. We can print them on the 3D printers. You can probably hear them in the background right now. They're all running full go. But I'm still a firm believer that the prop that Old Town designed is set up for that pedal system. I mean, gearing is one of those things that's really hard to come off of. That thing has gears inside of it, it has a fixed pitch prop, a differential. It's really hard to adjust that stuff without knowing what's going on inside. I'm still excited to see another redesign of this because it's interesting and we have the ability to test it. I mean, this thing costs at the most $4 to print. So we have the ability to test it very, very easy. It just takes some time to print, time to design. That's where the majority of the work is. But you guys have any more questions, you guys can ask me below. You can reach out to Adam and ask him. I'm sure he has a few ideas and I'm excited to see them. I appreciate you guys watching. Comments, drop them in the comment section.